Welcome to the 22nd Annual City of Tampa Women's History Month celebration. My name is Shirley Fox-Nose, and I'm Tampa's City Clerk. You will notice on your program that Melanie Michael from WFLA was originally scheduled to MC this morning. However, she had an emergency and sends her regrets. I am pleased to present this year's program, and on behalf of our Women's History Month Committee, we hope you will enjoy the celebration. In 1987, Congress officially declared the month of March as Women's History Month. 10 years later, in 1997, the City of Tampa established its Women's History Month Committee. Each year, this committee recognizes an outstanding female employee with the Josephine Howard Stafford Memorial Award. This year, the National Women's History Month's theme is Nevertheless, She Persisted, honoring women who fight all forms of discrimination against women. Today, we are very pleased to have former Tampa Police Chief Jane Castor, the first woman to ever serve in this role, with us to share her experiences as a trailblazer for women in Tampa's police force. To begin the program, I ask that you please stand for the presentation of colors by members of the Tampa Police Department Honor Guard.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
in the words of Reverend L. Annie Forrester. Spirit of life, in whose image we are both male and female, we pause on this special occasion to give thanks, for we have been given many blessings, and we have come very far. In this Women's History Month, we think especially of our mothers and grandmothers, and their mothers and grandmothers, whose yearning stretched forward into this our time and their best hopes for us. Women who stitched and cooked and cleaned, who chastised and challenged their sons and daughters alike, sowing the seeds of equality at the hearth side of their homes. Women who dreamed of a future when life would be easier, the gifts of life more fully available to all who live, and who taught their children that it could be so. For all our foremothers, Creator, who brought us to this celebration, we are grateful. We give thanks for the women who donned their white dresses and green ribbons and gathered themselves together to give voice to their yearnings, for the vote, for the freedom to participate in a larger life and accept responsibility for the course of human destiny alongside men. We remember their courage in the face of hostility, their dignity in the face of humiliation, and their tenacity in the face of discouragement. For all their gifts to us, we are grateful.
Good job.
Thank you. We recognize the Tampa Police Department Honor Guard, Staff Sergeant Sims, and the men and women of the armed forces for their courageous and committed service to our country. We also thank Indu for those inspirational words. Indu is a member of the Mayor's Youth Corps, class of 2018. She is a freshman at Middleton High School in the Biomedical Biotechnology program. She has been active in the Model UN, Future Business Leaders of America, and was the historian for her middle school's National Junior Honor Society. She is fluent in Malayalam, her native language, and is a student of Indian classical music. Indu loves performing arts and public speaking and has been recognized by the county for her presentation on the untouchables of India. She is highly interested in the medical field, especially neurology, mental health, and internal medicine. She is actively looking for ways to expand her knowledge of health-related issues in the Tampa area. Best of luck to you, Indu, in all of your current and future endeavors. Thank you. This year's Women's History theme, Nevertheless, She Persisted, honoring women who fight all forms of discrimination against women, reminds us how many remarkable women have made a difference here in Tampa. As we look toward the women who have overcome obstacles and paved the way for others, we would also like to recognize those who have dedicated a significant amount of time to their careers at the City of Tampa. They are currently nearly 300 women who have given more than 20 years of service to the City of Tampa. Their names are listed in a special display at the back of this room, and we would like to congratulate them for their service. Will those female employees who have worked at the City of Tampa for 20 years or more please stand and be recognized at this time? Thank you. Additionally, we have one woman with us today who has completed an incredible 55 years of service to the city of Tampa, which we believe is a record. Mary Bryan, would you please stand? We will give you your flowers later. Now, to bring us greetings on behalf of Tampa City Council is Council Chair Yvonne Yoli Capine, representing District 3 at large. Councilwoman Capine is a Tampa native who was in the first graduating class of Lato High School. She attended Hillsborough Community College and the University of Tampa. As a trailblazing woman in business, she became an entrepreneur at the age of 21. And by the age of 26, she had opened her first jewelry store at a regional mall. Councilwoman Capine is the current chair of Tampa's City Council. Additionally, she serves on the board of directors for the Strass Center for the Performing Arts, the Tampa Museum of Art, as well as the Advisory Council for the Humane Society of Tampa Bay. With the Board of County Commissioners, Chairwoman Capine spearheaded the first ever Hillsborough County Cultural Assets Commission, which will stand beside the County Sports Commission and Film Commission. Please welcome Councilwoman Capine.
Good morning, women. On this day, as we speak, history is being made by women all over the world. Some of you here today, around my age, will remember a time when, in history, when women were only allowed to have a credit card with their husband. And some of you may remember even being denied employment, even if you were the best candidate, because you were married and of childbearing age. These two things happened to me, but because I'm an example of a very important woman in my life, an entrepreneur, my mother, I didn't let them stop me. We all have a story to tell of why we persisted. And it is because of you, the women right here in this room, that our voice is resonating so loudly now. I'm going to ask you again, please, all the women in the room, stand. I want to applaud us for our resolve to move the needle, to raise the bar, all of us. Our resolve to move the needle, raise the bar, and meet the challenges we face every day to be the best version of ourselves. We all have a story to tell, and we will continue to persist. Thank you for inviting me today, and now I will present the commendation from Tampa City Council, and I see a couple of my colleagues here, Councilman Suarez and Councilman Maniscalco. Thank you. Okay. We present this to Tampa City 22nd Annual Women's History Month celebration. The Tampa City Council proudly recognizes the City of Tampa's 21st Annual Women's History Month celebration on March 6, 2018, and acknowledges the outstanding effort of the 2018 Women's History Month Celebration Planning Committee. Declared nationwide Women's History Month is a tribute to the generations of women who have committed and contributed and have proven invaluable in our nation's history and contemporary society. The Tampa City Council salutes the City of Tampa Women's History Month Celebration Planning Committee for their diligent work in highlighting our own community leaders and congratulates this year's Josephine Howard Stafford Memorial Award recipient, Tampa Fire Rescue Division Chief Barbara Tripp. For over 20 years, Chief Tripp has exemplified the standard of role model, both as a city employee and as a dedicated leader and mentor to the women and children of our community. Thank you for your exceptional work for our community and city, and as we honor the extraordinary and remarkable women of Tampa for their contributions and accomplishments. Thank you. Signed this date, March 18th.
Thank you, Councilwoman Capeen. At this time, we'd like to acknowledge our elected officials, previous Josephine Howard Stafford Memorial Award recipients, and other special guests. Can I call your name if you would please stand? Julie Stafford, daughter of Josephine Howard Stafford. Tampa Fire Rescue Chief Tom Ford. School Board Member Lynn Gray. Craig Latimer, Supervisor of Elections. TPD Chief Brian Dugan. Guido Maniscalco, City Council Member. Mike Suarez, Tampa City Council Member. Digna Alvarez, representing Senator Bill Nelson. You just met Council Chair Yvonne Yoli Capeen. And my special friend and mentor, Francis Henriquez, former city clerk. If there are any other current or former elected officials in the audience whose name was not mentioned, we apologize. Please stand so that we may recognize you at this time.
I'm here on behalf of Julia Cole, public defender, who has to be at the appellate court right now. So that's why she would love to have been here, but she's here. So
Thank you. Thanks for coming. We are so happy that you are here. Will the former Josephine Howard Stafford Memorial Award winners please stand if present when your name is called? Posthumously, Josephine Howard Stafford, represented today by her daughter, Julie. Jane E. Seiling, Sandy M. Sadola, Carol W. Guida, Gilbertina H. Wright, Kathleen A. Betancourt, Joan Tronco McConnell, Adriana Adri Kalina, Cindy Miller, Chief Jane Castor, the Honorable Sandy Friedman, the Honorable Rose Felita, Sarah Ford Lane, Bonnie M. Wise, Captain Susan D. Tammy, the Honorable Catherine Barja, Francis Henriquez, again, the Honorable Gwen Miller, Jeanette LaRussa Fenton, and Regina McBride Smith. Thank you. We would now like to recognize the 12 women who were nominated for the Josephine Howard Stafford Memorial Award this year. Would all of the women who received a nomination please stand at this time? Thank you for all of your contributions to the city of Tampa. Again, thank you. It is now with honor that I introduce the mayor of the city of Tampa. He believes Tampa's strength is in its diversity. He is focused on building an environment that will move Tampa to the next level and create a strong economic climate. As a husband to the highly accomplished wife and a father of 2 daughters, Mayor Buckhorn truly understands the need to nurture a sense of community and public service in the young women of this and future generations. The continued development of this city and the nation depends on it. Please welcome Mayor Bob Buckhorn.
Shirley, thank you. And you know, it's interesting. I came to the city in 1987 to work for a very strong, powerful woman who was the first female mayor that the city had ever had, Sandy Friedman, who was one of our award winners. And I am lucky enough to have worked or served with every one of the winners that has been mentioned. It's great to see Frances Enriquez there. She was the city clerk at the time, longtime city clerk, and probably looked at me as some young whippersnapper who...
You have changed.
Yeah, I'm no longer young, Frances.
For the better.
Oh, thank you, Frances. Thank you. It took her 30 years to get to that point where she could say something. And
You were cute then and you're cute now.
no, just keep on going, Frances, and keep on talking. Would you like the microphone? Yeah, those were the days, Frances. Those were the days. Yep. I am, yeah. Thank goodness there were no cell phone cameras. I would not be the mayor. This is an exciting opportunity, and for me, certainly to have had the opportunity for the last 7 years to serve with some absolutely amazing, powerful women has been truly one of the highlights of my career. This city would not be where it is in the midst of its transformation but for the contributions of all of you that are here today, but particularly some of the women that have served alongside of me and along with me. And that doesn't take anything away from the men, but I will tell you that their voices and their contributions and their ethos add something special to who we are and to the progress that we have made. So everything that I have become is because of the tutelage and the guidance of the women who are surrounding me, from Bridget, who runs my life, to our CFO, to our former police chief, to our former city attorney, and you just go down the list. There has probably not been a more diverse administration that has ever served this city in every shade and ethnicity and gender and orientation, but I am particularly proud of the contributions of the women that serve with us and serve every day to make this a better place. You make this city what it is, and I am thankful and lucky to have served alongside of you. So I'm going to read this proclamation, not all of it, because there's a lot of whereases, but I'll read the last two. Whereas this honoree today is officially recognized on Tuesday, March the 6th, 2018, at the 22nd Annual City of Tampa Women's History Month celebration held at the Tampa Bay History Center, featuring keynote speaker, one of those ceiling breakers herself, who led the Tampa Police Department with dignity and with grace in some very, very challenging times. I just added all that. Keynote speaker, Jane Castor, the former City of Tampa Chief of Police. Now, therefore, I, Bob Buckhorn, by virtue of the authority vested in me as the mayor of the City of Tampa, Florida, do hereby proclaim the month of March 2018 as Women's History Month in the City of Tampa, Florida, and urge all of our citizens to pay tribute to Barbara Tripp on her selection for this honor and to observe this month by paying special recognition in their own way to all women who have positively affected their lives, dated in Tampa, Florida, this 6th day of March, 2018. Congratulations to all of you. You make this world a better place. And I will tell you, even though we didn't break that last glass ceiling in November 2016, that day will come. And if we are going to do anything about guns, it will be the young women like Indu who are going to make the changes in this country. So keep it up. Don't back down. You're going to rule the world soon. You already do. Certainly when I go home, my 12-year-old daughter tells me exactly what to do. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now we have a special tribute, if you'll bear with me, to one of those pioneering women who, when I was a young man, I used to be in awe of. I didn't always agree with her, but I always knew where she stood. And her moral compass and her ability to separate right from wrong, to never stray from that path in spite of facing really, really, really tough decisions, to break the ceiling at the county commission and become one of the most powerful elected officials that this community has seen in a long, long time. She was part of a pioneering group that included Pat Frank and Sandy Friedman and Fran Davin and Betty Castor. Jan Platt was one of those women who made a difference in this community. She always stood fast to her values. Her son Kevin is here with us today. We would like to honor the life of Jan Platt. Kevin, stand up for a second. We want to honor the contributions of one of those pioneering women in Tampa politics that made a difference at the city council, at the county commission, in everything that she did. She touched this community in ways that will be measured positively for decades to come.
Think for the future and plan for the future. You know, when I was born, the state of Florida had 1.7 million people. Now I am 79, and now there are close to 20 million now in the whole state. Now think about that. You know, that's not a long time frame in history. It's about 75 years, and yet our state has gone from 1.7 million to 20 million. At that time, Hillsborough County had about 100,000 people. Now it's got about the same population that the whole state had when I was born. The state in our area is growing like topsy, and it's going to continue. And I would just encourage people not to give away the state, that we have to protect the environment. We have to protect the waters, the drinking water, the bay, the Gulf, and we also have to save those lands that are important to the environment and not make them into parks. People don't need to go through a cypress head. They don't need to fish in a cypress head. They don't need to go fish in the mangroves. Those need to be saved for the future.
We will now present a very special part of our program, the presentation of the Josephine Howard Stafford Memorial Award. This award was established in 1997 to honor a current or former City of Tampa female employee and who demonstrates outstanding commitment to her position and to the community. The award recognizes a woman who is a pioneer in her profession or excels in a career field or professional level where women are underrepresented. The award is given in memory of Ms. Stafford, who devoted 24 years to the City of Tampa as an assistant city attorney. She was an advocate for women's issues both professionally and in the community. In 2015, Josephine Howard Stafford was inducted into the Hillsborough County Women's Hall of Fame. Here to introduce this year's honoree is Regina McBride Smith, recipient of the 2017 Josephine Howard Stafford Award.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It is my pleasure to introduce Chief Barbara Tripp, Rescue Division Chief at Tampa Fire Rescue. Employed by the City of Tampa for more than 20 years, Barbara Tripp has progressed through the ranks as a firefighter, paramedic, lieutenant, quality improvement officer, rescue division supervisor, and currently serves as a rescue division chief. As the first African American woman to serve as chief for Tampa Fire Rescue, she has trained and mentored many women in the field of firefighting. A native of Tampa, Florida, Chief Tripp attended public schools in Hillsborough County and graduated from Hillsborough Senior High School in 1984. She then attended the University of South Florida before enlisting in the United States Navy in 1988. She completed a tour of duty at Naval Air Station Barbers Point, Hawaii. She was honorably discharged after 4 years and began a career in public service. She attended Hillsborough Community College, where she completed an Associate of Arts, Associate of Science in EMS Management, and Associate of Sciences in Nursing. She later returned to school at St. Petersburg College, where she received a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing. Chief Tripp is a member of the Florida Fire Chiefs Association and the Tampa Bay Area Critical Incident Stress Management Team. She has received the Counselor of the Year Award from Camp Hopatake, a camp for children who have suffered burn injuries, as well as the Nurse of the Year Award from Tampa General Hospital Ambulatory Service. I've read these, but they don't do justice for a lady who I had an opportunity to talk with a couple of times by now. She's an amazing person. Mayor, will you please join me to present the award?
On behalf of the City of Tampa and in recognition, Barbara, of your amazing career that has really only just begun, you are an epitome of what this award should represent. I have known you your entire career, and it has been an honor to have watched you progress. You represent the future of Tampa Fire Rescue, and you represent the future of women in the fire service. So on behalf of that, along with a recognition from Senator Bill Nelson, I'd like, ladies and gentlemen, to present this year's Josephine Howard Stafford Memorial Award to Chief Barbara Tripp of Tampa Fire Rescue. Congratulations.
Wow. Okay, so first, giving honor to my Heavenly Father and His Son, Jesus Christ, to the Honorable Mayor Bob Buckhorn, to City Council members and illustrious women of the Women History Committee, and to all the previous Josephine Howard Stafford Memorial Award recipients. Thank you for allowing me to stand here with you today. To all my friends, co-workers, my church family members, my supporters, it's an honor and a privilege to represent the spirit and embodiment of Ms. Josephine Howard Stafford Memorial Award for 2018. To Ms. Janice Eastburn, thank you for thinking of me and recognizing my life path and nominating me for this prestigious award. To my family, especially my 3 beautiful kids, my 3 grandbabies, thank you, I love you all, and thank you all for your support. When Ms. Jennifer called me and informed me that I had to speak, I became speechless. I'm like, what am I going to talk about? So she said, anything, just talk about anything. So I have always wanted to write a book about my life, especially my career as a firefighter. And the name of my book is going to be called #StatusChange. So, a native of Tampa, graduating from the #1 high school, Hillsborough Senior High, in 1984. I never thought I would attend a college due to the financial status of my parents. My parents worked and sacrificed to make sure our necessities were met. My trailblazing mother, with only a 6th grade education, was a warrior and taught us about sacrificing, survival, and respect. She always said you had to work hard to get somewhere in life. I started working at the age of 13 for the City of Tampa summer youth programs until my senior year, which I was able to enroll in USF in the summer. In the 1980s, computer technology was on the rise, and since I thought I was the smartest math girl at Hillsborough High School, I could one day be that computer engineer and make money to take care of my parents, especially my mother, because of the sacrifice she had made for her family. I believe doors of opportunity are often presented to us, and we have choices to walk through or close it. I always tell my kids, winners don't quit and quitters don't win. You only fail when you give up. You don't always have to be first as long as you finish the race. Push yourself, never give up. The words "I can't" was not allowed in my house because you never know until you try. Now, my millennial daughter tells me, sound like you're contradicting yourself, Mom. Why didn't you finish college at USF? You tell us not to quit, but you did. #StatusChange. So this is how the story goes. My second year in college, I realized that I wasn't as smart as I thought I was when the door to engineering calculus was presented to me. When it took 3 to 5 pages to complete a math problem, I knew then it was time to rethink money wasn't everything. Status change. I was blessed with a handsome son at the end of my second year in college. #motherhood. Now life was not slowing down for me. A lifelong childhood neighbor and his twin brother was just getting started in the fire service. One of the twins said, "Barbara, you should get involved with the fire department." My reply to him was, "It's too hot in Tampa to be putting out fires." He never informed me the job description of a firefighter, and I'd never seen a female firefighter during that time. Off to the United States Navy I enlisted, wanted to travel and see the world. Me and my family were stationed in Hawaii for my tour duty. Upon returning to home, now as 3, of my childhood neighbors telling me I should apply for the fire academy. This time they received a hand. I told you it's too hot in Tampa to be putting out fires. Well, one of them decided to tell me the duties of a firefighter. My ears stood at attention like a soldier in formation, for this door had my name written all over it. #student again. My first encounter was the first night at the fire academy in a class with 44 individuals with only 3 females, and the instructor said, "Everyone cannot be firefighters. Someone has to flip the burgers." I knew then I had to work like a man while remaining a lady. After 6 months of training, I was the only female left standing with 18 other guys. Wow, #certified firefighter. Now I'm in a recruit class of 15 individuals for Tampa Fire Rescue, class 97-2. Once again, I was the only female with these guys, #work like a man but remain a lady. Throughout my life and career, there were many doors that were open and closed, many obstacles I had to maneuver through, and many hurdles I had to jump. Anything in life worth having is not going to be easy. Many sacrifices were made daily for my family and friends, and those challenges molded me into the individual I am today. I progressed through the ranks from firefighter to rescue division chief. And now to my millennium daughter, yes, I did graduate. I have 4 degrees now. That's your challenge. In closing, I recite a couple of quotes from Maya Angelou, who was one of my favorite poets. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Take the negative out of the situation and turn to positive. Attitudes play an important role in our daily life and success. Another quote of hers was, people may forget what you said or what you did, but they would never forget how you made them feel. So to all the wonderful citizens in this great community, especially the women, remember, where there's love, there's faith. Where there's faith, there's knowledge. Where there's knowledge, there's strength. And where there's strength, there's success. God bless. Thank you.
Division Chief Barbara Tripp, congratulations on your well-deserved award. Thank you for your past. Thank you for your past, present, and future service and contributions to our community. We are very fortunate to have you. Thank you. Now I would like to introduce you to our keynote speaker. Jane Castor's decisive leadership is evident in all aspects of her 31-year career. She was the first woman elected as president of a police academy class, and 26 years later, she became the first woman to lead the Tampa Police Department. Jane Castor redefined community policing and reduced the crime rate with her innovative approach to fighting crime, most successfully through strong partnerships with the community. These community partnerships are the foundation of the Tampa Police Department's Focus on 4, which has reduced violent and property crime by 70% since its induction in 2003. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, retired Tampa Police Chief Jane Castor.
Well, good afternoon. What an honor it is to stand before you today. I tell you what, just being completely honest, I miss you guys. I miss everybody. It was so nice to have conversations beforehand. But let's one more time congratulate Chief Barbara Tripp on what an amazing job she did for not being a public speaker. That was outstanding. And where is the millennial daughter? The mayor and I couldn't see. Oh. All right, girl, you're in trouble. And I saw a lot of video too. So, I thought I was gonna hear in there the hashtag because I said so. You know, the things that, before you become a parent, there's a million things that you say you're not gonna do. And one of the things that I swore I would never do would say, because I said so, and I probably said that at least 1 billion times, if not 1 billion. And to the Mayor's Youth Corps, I thank the mayor for having the Mayor's Youth Corps. You guys are absolutely amazing. It's going to be wonderful to sit back and see what you accomplish and where you take this city. Make sure you remember what I know the mayor has told you, and that is you can go away to college, but you have to live in Tampa. Hindu, you are going to change the world. There's no doubt about that. My boys actually went through the Mayor's Youth Corps a couple of years ago, and I was hoping that the young women in the class like Indu would rub off on my boys. So I'm not sure how far that got, but anyway, it's wonderful to hear you speak today. I'm kind of sad that Melanie Michaels didn't make it today, although Shirley did an amazing job, has done, and continues to do a great job. Melanie and I go back when she's a reporter, and I'm sure everybody has seen her. She's just absolutely beautiful. And our public information officer several years ago got into making the videos, kind of the silly videos, and they were making that Call Me Maybe video. And my first response, as any good chief, was, that's not happening. And then it got to the point where they wore me down, and I thought, okay, I'll be in that video, but I'll have Melanie Michael in that video, so nobody will ever know that I was in that video. Once they see her, I'm a goner. But anyway, I hope that she heals quickly. And I also have to recognize my good friend Mary Bryan for her 55 years of service, amazingly. Many of you may not realize that Mary's accomplishment runs much deeper than her dedication to the city of Tampa. Fact is that she had to remain with the city so that she could keep an eye on Charlie Miranda. It's something, a clause in her contract there that she can't retire as long as she's keeping an eye on Charlie, because she's the only person that's qualified and capable of that job. And anybody that knows Charlie knows that's true. As was indicated, we are, while the celebration of women's history probably existed for untold years through various celebrations throughout the nation, it was officially recognized as Women's History Month in 1987. Unlike many, I don't view this late start date negatively. It clearly indicates that we were too busy fixing the world's problems, working, raising kids, and chipping away at that glass ceiling to focus on this celebration. But it's here now, and I thank all who have worked so hard to craft this wonderful program today. And a special thanks for allowing me to be a part of it. So if we could have the committee stand that put this together, and Jennifer, and say thank you all very much for your hard work. I tell everybody that it takes a lot of work to make something look effortless, and you guys have done that, so thank you. As many of you know, I have a consulting business which takes me around the United States assisting other law enforcement agencies with their issues. But the significance of my service does not resonate with my two boys, who I call my levelizers, as they always have a way of bringing me back down to earth and reality, as most kids do. So last year, when I was asked to participate in the Great American Teach-In, as I do every year, my son Seeley remarked, "Mom, you don't even have a real job." Of course, this is the same son who introduced me to his 5th grade class during another Great American Teach-In in this manner. "This is my mom. She's not a real cop, she's just a chief." She doesn't put bad guys in jail, she just sits behind a desk. Yeah, I'm very appreciated at home. So that this can be tagged as an official keynote address, I'm going to begin with a couple of facts. 71% of women with kids are in the workforce today, compared to 47% in 1975, and the professions that we are represented in are changing, as is indicated by our city and all the women leaders that are here today. Sandy Friedman was elected as the first female mayor, and actually she was the first female mayor of a large city in Florida back in 1987, as was also pointed out. Today, women make up 18% of mayors, congressional members, and senators. And if I was a betting person, I would say those numbers are all going to increase this November. Yeah, let's see how women run the world. Now, I don't want to place a cloud over a very positive event today by discussing the division, the political discord, and the anger in our nation today. So I will provide you with a quote from a Supreme Court justice who served in the late 1930s, and we're all aware of where the world was at during that period. I think that these words resonate and are very, very relevant today. He said, "Knowledge is critical to understanding, and understanding should always precede judgment." So I ask you all to take that saying out of here today with you and apply that to your everyday life. All right, back to some of the stats. 60% of college graduates are women, and over 50% of law school graduates are women, although they only make up 35% of working lawyers. Now, there may be many reasons for this, but my belief is that confidence plays a part in that. As women, we're all aware that if a job takes 5 skills to perform, we'll wait until we have 6 skills in order to apply, while men will apply without any of the skills, figuring they're going to get on-the-job training. Now, that last statement is not a research-based fact, so don't write it down. Or if you do, just attribute it to Mayor Buckley. That's B-U-C-K-H-O-R. Okay. Point is that as women, we sometimes lack the confidence needed to press forward for jobs, for raises, for credit due. We must ensure that we support each other and that our young girls develop the confidence needed to reach their potential. I actually, from Dr. Lynch, the mayor's wife, has invited me several years in a row to go out during the Great American Teach-In and speak to some of the girls at, I think everybody's aware, we have a middle school that's all girls and a middle school that is all boys. So the first year I went out, I was talking to the principal, and I said, "Tell me the difference. What have you noticed in being the principal of an all-girls school, and what's the difference in the all-boys school?" And she said in the all-girls school, she said, every girl participates. Every girl participates in everything. In sports, in the classroom, there's no fear of failure or looking bad in front of the boys. And I said, "Well, what about the boys' school?" And she goes, "Everybody cries." She said, "Even the dads cry." So it's nice that, you know, you have that atmosphere where they can be themselves and not in fear of judgment. As some of you may know, athletics are near and dear to my heart. I was provided with a free college education because of my involvement in sports, and I will always be grateful to the University of Tampa for that. As a fact, most, if not all, my success that I have achieved is due to my participation in sports. Did you also know that during the first official Olympic Games in 1924, the only thing that women were allowed to participate in was figure skating? We've come a little ways since then. I recently watched a movie about Billie Jean King and her defeat of Bobby Riggs. That event was a watershed moment for women's sports, and it also brings up a great memory about my kids as well. One of my boys came home in, I believe it was 4th grade, and they were doing, they had to pick a famous person. They had to write a biography on it, and unfortunately for my son, they also had to dress up as the person for the presentation. So my son comes home so excited that he had picked this famous tennis athlete, and he said, Billie Jean King. And I said, "Oh my gosh, that's great." I said, "She's one of the most famous women athletes in history." He goes, "Mom." I go, "What?" "She was famous." He goes, "Mom, Billie Jean King, it's the boy." I go, "Well, honey," I said, "I got some bad news for you. Fortunately, you have nice legs, so you'll look good in a skirt." Yeah, he was a little distraught. So back to women in sports. Title IX was passed in 1972 when I was in junior high school. Now, Title IX did a great deal for girls and women in education, but for me, it was a door that opened so many opportunities in life. Being 6 foot in the second grade and growing up all around boys, I was a pretty good athlete. Or, as my 8-year-old niece said many years ago after counting all my trophies, "Wow, Aunt Jane, you used to be somebody." Now, understanding that everyone develops life skills in different settings, for me, it was on the field or court where I learned the skills that would serve me throughout my life. A strong work ethic, dedication, perseverance, team effort, commitment, leadership, the ability to win and lose gracefully, although I'm not sure I got the losing part down pat. And most importantly, how to get along well with others. This is a skill that is woefully underestimated. So many people go through life banging their heads into the wall, demanding things be done their way, and then wonder why they have a headache all the time. It's so important to listen to other viewpoints and to compromise. Rarely is there one correct answer to a problem. A good leader will listen to and consider all potential solutions before choosing their direction. And that is a significant skill. And that weaves into the importance of diversity. I always talk about, when I talk about diversity, I talk about Sonia Sotomayor's story when she was sworn in as a Supreme Court Justice many years ago. And during her confirmation hearings, there was much made about her Hispanic history. And one individual even said, "We're afraid that your Hispanic heritage may influence the decisions that you make." And my response to that, I'll tone down. No kidding. I mean, isn't that the point of diversity? We're all a sum of our life experiences, and that's what you're looking for, the different viewpoints when decisions are being made. Now, in the police force, it's imperative that we have diversity. We exist to serve the public, and citizens want to see officers who look like them. And I'll tell, because you all know I love the firefighters and the police officers, and we've always got our competition going. And what I always say is that everybody loves the firefighters. You know, the house can burn down and everybody's like, "Well, y'all tried. Let me go make you an apple pie." But the cops, what happens when we show up? Nobody calls us when it's a good day, right? We show up, we automatically irritate half the people that we deal with. So it's significant that the community has trust in police officers, and they see individuals who have had life experiences that they have had. And that's very, very important. And it's also important that the staff at the fire department and the police department is very diverse as well, because they're making decisions that affect every citizen in the community. And so that diversity is significant, as it is throughout our city. And the mayor has done an amazing job. If you look at all of the leaders in the different departments, that diversity is a significant issue for us. Now, when I was named chief, a great deal was made about being the first female chief. And what I said at the time is that at the end of my tenure, I don't want to be remembered as the first female chief. I want to be remembered as a good chief. But with that said, the significance of being the first woman was not lost on me. A man in my position fails, they fail as an individual. If I failed as the first female, people were going to say, "I told you a woman couldn't do it." So it was very significant that I spent all of my time ensuring that I did a good job in that position. And I know everyone in those positions, leadership positions, strive to do a good job every day. But it was particularly significant for me because I represented all women and the first woman in that particular spot. And also as a role model. I had a woman come up to me at a spring breakfast years ago, and she said, "Can I tell you something real quickly?" And I said, "Sure." She said, "My 9-year-old daughter saw you on Bay News 9 this morning, and she asked me, she said, 'Mom, is that the chief of police?' And I said, 'Yes, it is.' And her daughter responded, 'Wow, I can be anything I want to be.'" So we can never lose sight on the importance of diversity. Now, in closing, I want to talk a little bit about Josephine Stafford, the person that this award is named after. I didn't know Josephine. So when I was honored with this award, I called my good friend Gina Grimes in an effort to learn a little bit more about her. Gina had worked with Josephine and considered her a friend. She described Josephine as very bright, determined, hard-charging individual who loved a good party. She said Josephine would light up any room she entered. She loved to dance, was a loyal friend, and had a laugh that was contagious. For me, she was someone that I believe we should all aspire to be. When one of my mentors retired from the police department, he was asked what he wanted to be remembered for, and he replied, "I want to be remembered about 5 minutes after I clear the door." Well, I submit that we should all aspire to be a Josephine Stafford, leaving this world with everyone wanting more, placing a positive and indelible mark on all we touch, bringing forth an array of stories and smiles at the mention of your name, and a clear understanding if there ever was a person who gave it all and lived every moment of their life, it was you. Here is to Josephine, the Josephine Stafford, and all of us. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Jane. Really appreciate it. Your presentation was very inspiring. Thank you for the sacrifices you made, many of which we will never know about, but thank you. This has been a wonderful program. Thank you to all of the program participants and sponsors. A full list of the sponsors is on the back of your program. Many thanks to the Mayor's Youth Corps for all of their assistance with today's program. Special thanks also to the Tampa Police Memorial Committee and the Trailblazers Youth Athletic Ministry. We would also like to extend our thanks to the Tampa Police Department Honor Guard, MacDill Air Force Base, and to the Women's History Month Committee for all of their work to make this celebration a success. Again, I would like to recognize the Women's History Committee members. Will you please stand for a round of applause? I would be remiss if I did not offer special recognition to the chair of the Women's History Month Committee, Jennifer Dietz. Would you stand? Jennifer, thanks for your leadership and passion to make this Women's History Month event a success. Brad Baird, thank you for your continuous support of the Women's History Month event. Your support has allowed this event to grow over the years and become a great success. Thank you, Brad. Lastly, I would like to recognize the founder of the Women's History Month Committee, Jeanette LaRussa Fenton. Jeanette, thank you for your vision and for helping to make the committee a continuous success, even in your retirement. During the month of March, you can help women re-entering the workforce. As part of the Women's History Month, clean, gently worn suits, work attire, and accessories are being collected for the Dress for Success program. You may drop off your donations at 6 different locations throughout the month of March. Thank you again for coming. We have enjoyed you so very much, and please enjoy the rest of your day.